It's recording.
Your dad is like finance?
Yeah, I just got a Holy Linux notification for.
Did you see that? We
Yeah.
should
Send it out in our Slack.
yeah, do you want
I
to
can just copy and paste it. Yeah.
Throw it into the group here?
Can do.
We should either right now or at the end.
Yeah.
go
I
over that.
I will send it at the end with other things.
Sick. Did you get OBS running?
Yeah, we're recording right now.
This is sick. You got a 3-monitor setup. That bow bun keeping you big as hell.
Oh, what the fuck? You fuck with it?
What?
Class. Cool. Then we'll kick things off. Hi everyone, how are we doing? You might get in the doors.
Does this say I am?
Or
To what?
to play devs. To join.
Oh.
Cool. Alright, what's up everybody? Thank you all. Wow, it's like low-key more people here. Great to see everyone. Today we're going to be continuing our kind of module on design. If y'all were here for the Thursday class, we went over kind of the basics of a tool called Figma. Today we're going to go over some of the theory behind design, like what is good UI and UX practice. And then at the end of this, we're going to group off into small groups and work through some of these theories with Figma. You're going to be fixing a really bad design that we have and kind of making it adhere to some of the standards that we can think of. So without further ado, Amanda, take it away for us.
All right, guys. Cool. We're gonna do some intro to UI UX design. Let's connect to this. Oh shit, my bad. Can I not do it on here?
This one's recording. So
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
One more thing is, if you aren't in the Slack already, we will be using it for class today, so please like get that scanned and join that. We'll be sending out like a link to the assignment for the end of the class. So we'll leave that up for a second.
All right. Awesome. Cool. So, what is UX UI design? Does anyone know what these letters mean? Precisely. Awesome. All right, so UI is user interface, UX is user experience. So these are kind of used interchangeably, but there are like different definitions. UI is to describe like what is exactly on the screen. What are we looking at? What are we interacting with? So it's like the letters on the screen, the colors, all of those things. And then user experience is obviously like what it sounds like, right? How does a user like actually interact with like the elements on the screen, and why are they placed in certain ways? Does it like make the journey, like visiting a website, easier and smoother? So putting it together, UI UX design just basically involves all the like prototypes, the wireframes, and just mocking up screens to kind of consider how someone will use it. So why is this important? Why are we even going over this, since this is supposed to be coding, right? But you have to kind of think about like, why do people use software in the first place? If like Amazon looked like shit, no one would use it, right? We would probably, I don't know.
Such a bad example.
Okay, I mean Amazon looks like shit. If Apple looked like really like a Nokia, right? Would someone still use it? Or like if their interface like looked like absolute dog shit, no one would still use it, right? So if you are building a service, you're building like a product, like having poor UI UX design means that people aren't gonna go buy your product, especially for websites. Like if you're selling, like let's say a hoverboard, but like the button to buy something like isn't really visible, then you're losing out on so many sales. So clean UI means that you kind of see it more professional, and users are more likely to kind of visit your website and just be more loyal to your product. And why is this important for developers? Probably like you guys probably want to be developers or are trying to like learn how to develop things. Having a well-done UI makes things much easier, right? Because if you're a developer, you like, let's say you're a god tier coder, but then the designs that you get are really bad. It's super hard to kind of like start developing things from scratch. So having good UI makes sure that you're able to save like hours of like redoing designs over and over again. Yeah, And also, this is really good for jobs. Like having a good UI UX background, especially for developers, is important because like anyone, like basically anyone can code, right? But designing is pretty hard. Like designing takes creativity, it takes understanding what users like want to see and how they want to go through a workflow, which means that having good design principles makes you a better developer. So Figma is what we'll use for our UI UX design. I'm not sure how many people were here last week, but like going through that tutorial that we walked through basically gives you a pretty good baseline for kind of what we're going to learn today. All right, so we'll go through design principles. All right, this is probably things that you already know. Like you guys know what font is, but we're just gonna go through like every like design principle and kind of show you like why it matters. So fonts pretty important for like setting the mood on things, right? Like obviously Comic Sans versus Times New Roman is a pretty big difference on like how you perceive a certain message. So there's two like main types of fonts. First is serif fonts, which basically the one on the right where you see those little curves on the end, and the other is sans serif, which means without those little curves. So choosing these are like pretty important. I'd say serif is usually used for like professional writing, documentation, all of these, while sans serif is used for, I don't know, like more like chill stuff and like for tech things. And monospace is a type of font that takes, where each character takes the same horizontal width. Onto font weight. This is like a design principle, but it's also important for development. This is the thickness of the font. Obviously, having different font weight like categorizes like things differently. So can someone give me an example of like when you'd use like extra bold versus extra light? Yeah.
Titles versus like subtitles or notes.
Yeah, precisely, right? Like you'd use bolder text for things that are more important. And why this is also important for development is that when you are like, all these font weights have like specific numbers associated with it. So regular is 400, bold is 700, and then within development, like a lot of times you'll like define a specific font weight by like these numbers. So it's pretty helpful to kind of know like when exactly to use that. All right, next is letter spacing. This is how far apart your individual characters are, and then letter height, how far apart your lines of text are. So you will change that based on just like the aesthetics of things. All right, and then this is a really good resource, Google Fonts. Basically, you're able to, holy bruh.
I changed my wallpaper. It's been like that for
yeah, cool. So Google Fonts, you're able to see basically like any fonts that you want. I think you can change, yeah, you're able to see like whatever things that like match what you want to see. Like, yeah, sophisticated stuff, calm, and then let's just go to Funnel Sans. And then here, you're also able to like get fonts and import it to your project. So this is fonts.google.com, by the way, if you want to like kind of explore on your own computer. You're also able
What
to
was that link?
fonts.google.com.
That's huge. Are they free?
All of them? Okay, yeah. All of them are free, and then you can type in to see like what that will kind of look like, and also you can see the different font weights here, like medium 500, to see what it'll look like before you get it onto your website. And then we'll go through this later, but like you're able to like download things or like embed it in through your website through different ways.
Very quick PSA to everybody. Not all fonts are free, and if you want a font that's not free and you see like a Reddit link to download a font that claims it's free, it is like 99% of the time a virus. I've learned this the hard way. Once we get to like designing stuff and coding front ends, you'll like have to put your own fonts in basically. A lot of fonts are viruses. So either get it from like Google Fonts or another place that's trusted, or pay for it, or just don't do anything sketchy.
Yep. All right. Let's continue. All right. General font design principles. You should avoid using more than 2 fonts in any design, or else it'll look pretty messy. You don't want to combine 2 different fonts like sans serif with another sans serif. Yeah, and then page titles. All right, these are like really specific things, but you can keep this in mind. Page titles can use letter spacing of like -1 to -2, and you can keep it default. And then body line height should generally be 150%. All right, next is color. You guys will probably think this is pretty basic, right? Like obviously, like you guys know color, but like how it's like actually defined is pretty specific. So color can be represented through RGB, which is like you have a value between 0 to 255 for the 3 colors red, green, and blue. And this purple is like 134 red, 45 green, 210 blue, and that makes up this purple color. And then for reference, 000 is pure black, while 255 for all 3 values is pure white. And there's also hex codes. Not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but it's the same principle as RGB, except the numbers are written as hex codes. So this, like hashtag 862D2 is the same as that RGB code that we saw previously. And there's also no spaces here, it's just separated for clarity. And then same for pure black and pure white, it's 000 and then FFF for pure white. So
quick thing on that, that seems like completely incomprehensible, and like eventually you can learn to guess. But also if you just look up color picker, Google will give you a tool that gives you like the RGB and hex values, and you can like drag around and find it that way. We're also gonna give you a couple tools that will like discover cool colors and like pick those for them.
Yep, exactly. And like when you do get into development or even design, like all the colors are represented that way. And you can kind of just like explore the colors by putting in any random hex code. Like you can put in 6 zeros or hashtag and then 6 zeros, and it'll be black. And then you're able to just drag it around towards any color you want. And then you'll see the corresponding hex code, RGB, and then these are different other colors, like color systems, but usually hex and RGB are the most used. See, like CMYK is like for printers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right, we'll go over some basic color theory. If you guys have done art or like anything creative, you guys probably know like how color schemes kind of work and what you choose. So color wheel. Yeah, these are basically like all the colors, right? I'll go over this in a bit more detail in the following slide. Yeah, I guess that's it. And then for like, okay, monochrome color scale, like you usually want to pick one color and then have different accents of it, like going like throughout your website, so it's like all cohesive. And then like you want to choose complementary colors. So that's where the color wheel comes back to play. Like for our logo, we choose green and purple because they're pretty like complementary. It shows like good contrast, and like you're able, like if our website's like mainly purple, we're able to use green to kind of have accents on that. So we can just see that really easily. Mainly purplish website, and then anything that's green, you'll pay more attention to. Pretty beautiful website as well. Yeah.
Yeah. His picture is hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
His shadows.
He's one of our PMs.
Yeah.
Sigma.
Okay. Cool. Next is grayscale. This is an example of Uber where they more so rely on like images and like illustrations to have color, and just like it's a really clean interface, right? And everything is just down to personal preference as well. All right, the next thing is the 60-30-10 rule. Basically, 60% of your website should be a main neutral color. It's usually white, beige, or black. And also something design is that something should never be completely white or completely black. Like nothing should ever be 000 or FFF because it's like very dark contrast. Instead, it should have like a really dark gray or a really light gray. And that really helps with like just readability and just staying on a website. So next, 30% should be that primary color. So in our case, it's purple, and 10% should be that accent color that contrasts that primary color. All right, a few other great resources. Coolers.co. This helps with just finding like color schemes that you might want to use. And I believe space. Yeah, if you press space, you randomly generate like different colors and different color palettes that already exist. And if you like a specific color, like I like this purple, you can click to lock this, and then once you press space again, it'll start generating other things and lock those specific ones that you have. So really helpful if you don't really have any like you don't really have any idea to start. You're able to have this color palette, and you're able to copy these hex codes really easily as well. And I believe you're also able to like export it and just save it wherever you want. Yeah.
Wait, I put the link on that one. Real-time colors is another really useful tool. It's built by a like pretty popular design YouTuber whose videos we'll like put in the Slack after this class.
Mm-hmm.
But similar to colors, it lets you generate palettes while, in this case, putting it like directly on a website. So you can see how those would look on like an actual site. And then if you click on the little arrow next to random, just the dice, the little up arrow next to it.
Okay, this one?
Or like up.
Up?
Next to the
Oh,
dice.
this.
You can choose like which kind of color scheme you want that we've been talking about. So you can go with like a bunch of different kinds of like color profiles.
That's sick.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So general color design principles, like don't use harsh gray for containers. You can also use like drop shadows, which is basically just like little shadows behind a box. Also, you want to stay away from using like two completely different colors. You want to use different shades that complement each other. And also make sure that text has a lot of contrast with your background. Don't pick like red text on a green background or like dark gray on a black background. All right, next is spacing and alignment. So spacing is pretty important when it comes to design, since if things are too cramped, like you basically just don't want to read whatever's on the page. So there's two important terms when it comes to spacing and alignment. First is margin. So this is the amount of space between two elements. And next is padding, which is the amount of space around an element. Yeah, and then next is like a visual section, which is basically this big box on top of like the background, basically a set of elements that already share the same thing because you want to group it, right? And you'll kind of see like the drop shadow come into play, because if there was no drop shadow, this white would lead onto like the background of the white. So also really important to like have padding there so it's not like just all cramped up. All right, next is text alignment. You never want to mix centered aligned text with left aligned text within the same visual section. Usually left aligned text is preferred. Like you might think like everything should be centered and like horizontally aligned, right? Because like it might seem more aesthetically pleasing, but it's harder for people to read things, so most people just do things left aligned. But also centered titles and headers are not too uncommon. But usually want it left aligned, since this would be like fine. This isn't like horrible, but if you think about it and like have all your text aligned, it's really hard to kind of see. It's really hard to like read this because you have to go from the very end of the screen and then go back to the center. All right. And if you think a design looks bad, the most common reason is that there's not enough spacing between the elements. Because if this text was bigger and it basically filled the entire screen, it wouldn't be as nice looking. And here are examples. Like, these two are like okay. The first one, like, it's a bit too tight. And then here, the spacing, like being vertically aligned, also makes it a better choice than the second one. All right, next is border radius. We played around with this last week where we rounded all those boxes on like the demonstration that we were doing. Make sure that you never go crazy with a border radius. Like the one on the right is too crazy. It just looks like really goofy. But on the other hand, a border radius around like 5 to 10 is usually most recommended, or not having one at all. All right.
Cool. So now that we've learned kind of some of the general theory behind what we're doing here, we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot. So can I get, how many people do we have? Do people feel comfortable splitting off into groups of 2? Like, go ahead and do that right now. Like you can like get up and move around, but like go find another person to partner up with. I don't think so.
Y'all can do one group of 3 as well.
Can we do one group of 3 over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, that's not my background anymore. I don't know where it came from.
But it's the background that's on your laptop.
No. Cool. So, I'm assuming we're all grouped up and good. So what we have here is really, really bad, right? Like we can look at this and say that like something has gone horrifically wrong in the design of this. We're gonna be designing kind of a welcome intro card for Hoi developers. So you can change anything about this. Keep like the central text, but like keep the message and you can change pretty much anything else. In about 20 minutes, we're gonna circle back up and look at some of the designs that we've had and go over what looked really good and where we could maybe improve a little bit. But just, yeah.
Where's the links to that?
It is on the slides and I sent it in the Slack. But you should be able to go here and hit the duplicate button on that little arrow and you'll be able to edit that new one.
In the L25 bootcamp channel in Slack.
Yeah. I will also,
Is anybody here not in our Slack yet? Please raise your hand. What's your name?
Julia?
Okay. Actually, can you just give me your net ID?
Yeah, JED 160.
JD 160.
I also,
What tab is it in?
How did they make a copy?
under the little lecture 2 thing here, click the edit file menu and hit duplicate.
Yeah. Did everybody hear that? Do we all know how to make a copy?
Click the little arrow next to the file name and then go down and hit duplicate.
Yeah, how do you invite someone to Slack? I do.
Oh wait, can you also add more to the Slack?
MY184.
confused.
I was just wondering.
No. I'm actually just confused too.
Oh, you have to keep.
Am I supposed to be able to fill out the Google form I got sent today?
No, that was from last class. You don't have to do that.
Oh no, yeah, that was from last time.
The only thing that needs to stay from this is the actual message of inviting
It
someone.
might it was from, I think last.
Yeah, that was last class.
Really?
Cool.
Did I put your identity?
Damn.
Oh, thank you.
What did your tab mean?
No pass that on. The fascist shall not pass. Yeah, it's like a spam symbol.
It says your Can you try and just open Slack? And see what it is? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna.
Add the boot camp channel.
Yeah, please do. Sorry, I didn't have your email list.
Oh yeah, I'm not on the email.
Have you signed up through the website? Do you mind just doing that? It's no issue. But just so I have your email, it would be super nice. It should just be the join. Yeah.
Wait, so did you add me to stuff? I did.
You can like speed. You can just like speed through stuff, but just so we have your contacts. Have y'all cooked? Please change the font too. It's so bad. You like it? I couldn't even read that it said join. I thought it was two in. Hoy develops. Hoy does.
Yo, do we have
You
the
skip it?
hover thing for click me?
Can't wait to meet EJ. Is he big?
Nah, he's a short guy.
Really?
He's a short guy. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this out. I'm sorry.
Dark purple? Do you like that?
So I'd be more blue. It's like a bright blue.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm changing it.
Please do. I don't know how to work.
I don't know how to change it.
So go for like this.
Ooh, this one.
It doesn't matter. Just
I'm gonna put this on.
oh well, you click into it. And then you click into it. You click into it. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
You can edit here. You can't edit. Can you try clicking into this?
Leo, should we get some gentle music going?
Here, just use my head.
Or your head for a second. Oh, you're cooking?
Yeah. Change this.
Wait.
Yeah. I'm like everybody now. I don't want to sit completely redoing it.
Oh, I was gonna say. Oh, yeah.
We'll get there.
Wait, we should do the thing where like when you hover over the clip
Do you want me to? Where do you want me to put the event for today?
I'm forgetting.
Put in what event for today?
The one that we're gonna blast. Also, how do we get to
announcements?
applied members? Do we just drop it in announcements?
Yeah.
Should we just rip the Hoylytics one?
Yeah. Fuck it. What are we feeling? What are we feeling?
Do you want me to do that, or do you want to?
Could you? Want some like calm little like French?
Yeah.
I have no idea how.
Just like Ratatouille style.
Don't you